tried it, you guys, and it is terrible. Oh, that doesn't go on that one. Just don't use powdered sour cream. It's like I just gotta give it away, throw it away, something, it's gone. We're getting right into it today. I'm making freezer meals. I'm getting some rice set aside. I have another liner. We're going to be using this thing multiple times. Going to set this to the side and get started on some hash browns. So I have dehydrated hash browns, and these need to hydrate before we can use them. So I'm going to do this first, and then we'll get into making everything else. So what I'm making today is I'm doing a taco hash brown casserole. I've never made this before, so I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm also going to be making a burrito casserole, which I've made this a ton of times. I'm going to do it a little bit differently today just because of what I have on hand. I'm still doing pantry challenge. I know I'm a little late, but whoa, that was a lot. But better late than never, right? This is 4 cups of hash browns that I'm putting in here. The recipe called to use 32 ounces of shredded frozen. And so I'm doing 4 cups of these and 4 cups of water. Does that look like a lot? That kind of does. Should we go 3? Maybe we'll do 3. I'm backing off a bit. I'm also going to be making a sausage rigatoni with tomatoes and zucchini. And I have the Italian sausage already cooked from a previous day. So that's, whoa, that is super helpful. This thing spout, it's too small, too small. The last thing we're gonna be making is just a chicken stir fry, and that'll just be with rice. And all of these I picked out so that they could be frozen individually, because right now the only individual freezer meals that we have are the pizzas. And then I do have, I guess I have a few. I have 3 left of ones from before. But we are running very low. I just did a freezer meal video where I got some like family style meals. All right, let's just set this aside. I might need some more, I might not. I have the meat doing a cold water defrost in my sink. I just lost internet. That's where my recipes are. Oh, maybe it's coming back. We'll see if it comes back. If not, we're gonna have to figure something out because that is where the recipes are. I don't know what I'm doing in this drawer. I'm going to be making the sausage rigatoni pasta, and so I'm going to add in the noodles. I'm also going to put the liquid in there. I'm going to use turkey broth because anytime I'm making pasta, I like to make it in an Instant Pot or pressure cooker. I also like to cook it in broth because it's just such a better flavor. Now, you have to cover the noodles all the way, and I don't think that's going to be quite enough. So I'm going to add just some water to cover the remaining part of the noodles. And I know I'm going to have a little bit more liquid from some other things I'm putting in there, so I think that'll be good. I'm going to pop just a few garlic pucks in here. I just got those at Target. I'll need them again. And then maybe next we'll do some zucchini. This is frozen zucchini from 2023's garden. And then some tomatoes. Italian sausage is going in. This is the Italian sausage that I made with just some pork, and I ground it up and then put seasoning on it to make it be Italian sausage seasoned. I also need an onion, and instead of dicing up an onion, I'm going to just use a canned onion. And we are moving right along. I'm going to season this with some salt and pepper and red pepper flakes and some basil. And I think that's the last of the basil. So I need to be planting out some basil this year. And the last thing that we're going to need, let's just put the rest of that in, is some tomato paste, which I have some right there. That is what I was doing. I was grabbing a spoon for the tomato paste. All right, we figured it out. Spoon. Isn't that funny when you can't remember what you're doing and then it makes it abundantly clear? Okay. We are rocking and rolling. This is our first recipe and it's basically done. All I have to do is cook it, and then once it's cooked, I'm going to portion it out into individual sized portions. started on this taco meat. I need 2 pounds of taco meat, and this is for the 2 different recipes. It's for the burritos and for the taco casserole. So both casseroles need this. And they are still a little bit frozen in the middle, but we can make do. Now that we've got ourselves rocking and rolling, let me give you a little bit of an update on what we did before. So welcome back. My name is Carrie. This is Keep It Simple DIY. I like to do freezer meals and canning and cooking and just all of the things, gardening. Today I'm doing freezer meals, and I like to prep ahead if I'm doing things that aren't all one style. Sometimes I'll do all ground meat or I'll do all chicken. Today I'm doing Instapot casserole, stovetop. I'm doing a little bit of everything because I'm trying to do individual single serve freezer meals. And so what I did before, just to make this be a lot more quick and organized, is I got everything out that I was going to need. That way, when I need it, I just can go grab it, and I can hopefully not forget what I need. And apparently we don't have internet, and so since we don't have internet, I have everything out so I know what ingredients I need, I think. So while this is cooking, let me move it up maybe just a tad. I'm going to make some refried beans. A lot of times I'll can refried beans, but I don't have canned ones right now. I have regular beans. So I'm going to add in some beans, some onions, some salt, chili powder, cumin, and cilantro. And I'm just going to mash that up. I'm debating on if I'm going to cook it in a pot. I might not. And the reason I'm thinking I might not is just because it's going to be cooked in the oven and it might not need it. So we'll see. I'll decide when we get there. I do need to drain those beans though. Normally I would use pinto beans for refried beans, but I don't have any canned up right now. I have a ton of pinto beans. I have probably 20 pounds, but they are all dried. And something really weird is I recently tried making them in the Instant Pot, and they did not work. Like, I tried for hours and hours. I was making baked beans, and it just did not, for some reason, turn into anything. They didn't get soft after even hours and hours and hours. And so we will not do it that way again. I'm putting some sea salt in. I'm gonna add some garlic. Oh gosh, that was way too much salt. I don't know what I was thinking there. You know what, we're gonna go with it. They're beans. Don't know if I'm gonna need all this liquid. I'm gonna pour some of the liquid off from these onions. And if needed, I'll add it back in. Okay. I'm just going to mix all of this together, and then I will give it a mash. These beans are a little bit on the runny side, so I think I probably will cook them for a little bit just to get some of the liquid out. But I think this texture is good for me. There's a little bit of chunk still, but it's also quite mashed. All right, I'm hoping that I don't regret this decision, but I am going to use that pan for the beans because I don't really have another good sized pot. I have that one, but I'm going to use that to make some cream of soup. This will all fit nicely into, or you know what? After it's sat there, it's thickening itself up. I'm not going to do that. We're just gonna leave that there. I am going to get started on the roux. And so I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons of butter, and then I'll put 4 tablespoons of flour in there once that's melted. Now I need cream of soup for 2 different recipes. One of them I need just a regular old cream of mushroom, and then I actually need sour cream, which I don't have, but I do have sour cream powder. So I'm going to make a little bit more for that one. And then I also need to make a cheddar one, so I have cheddar powder, and we're going to try that out and see how it goes. Our butter is almost melted all the way. I'm going to add in the flour, and I'm actually going to lower the heat. And what I want to do here is cook this flour until all of the flour is no longer floury. I don't know, we want the flour taste to be gone. And then we'll add the liquids. We'll give that just a few seconds. All right, I am going to add in turkey stock, a little bit at a time, and mix that. And then I do have some milk that I just mixed up with that milk powder. I made about 4 cups. And I think this meat is just about ready to have the seasonings put on it and some water, so let's do that. This is just a jar that had some onions in it. There's still some onions left, but add just a tad. Before I mix over there, let's make sure to mix over here and turn our heat back up a little bit. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. I think we could use a little bit of milk in this one now, and hopefully I don't spill it. I always go too fast out of this. We're gonna go really slowly so we don't spill. Probably enough for now, and then we'll add more in a little bit. The Instant Pot just went off, so that is done. All right, we are back in business. I had a little bit of an issue without the internet. I didn't remember the ratio, so it took me a minute to figure it out. I'm going to add a bit of sour cream powder into this one and then cheddar powder into the other one. That way we have them flavored properly. And then the pressure cooker just went off, and so that is ready. Add that there. I need to switch out the pressure cooker ingredients from the noodle casserole type of deal to the rice. I also preheated the oven to 350. Try to get all those lumps out. Truth be told, this is a little bit lumpy today because I had my ratios all off. Okay, we actually probably should give that a little bit of a stir. Grab a spoon. Nice. All right, I think we're almost ready to get these assembled. I preheated the oven to 350. I can't remember if I told you that already or not. I'm going to give this a spray, and my other casserole dish that looks like this is in the dishwasher, so I have to use a different one for the other one. I'm just checking to see if all the water's been absorbed, and it has. Now this is a crock pot recipe. I'm just not doing it in the crock pot, and I'm kind of making it up a little bit as I go. I think I'm gonna add, okay, so garlic, and then I'm gonna put salt and pepper because potatoes really need seasoning. Oh, left that open. And I'm not a huge pepper fan, so just a little bit there. Somewhere I put a ton of salt. Where did I put a ton of salt? It was in the beans, but the beans are for the other casserole. Okay. I also then need half of this meat. Give it a mix. Seems like a lot of hash browns. Maybe I didn't measure it quite right since I was doing the dehydrated instead. All right, there's that. Should I use that one? No, I think I should use this. This is a super unhealthy meal is what I'm seeing. All right, let's see if we can get this all mixed together nicely. I'm going to top it with some mild cheddar. What I had put inside was Colby Jack. And the mild cheddar is frozen, but it'll be fine. Well, Okay. I am going to put foil over this. I have no idea how long it'll take. But we'll stick it in the oven until it's done. Alrighty. Next up we've got the burrito casserole. Get this on in there. Gotta remember how I do this. I think I start with a layer of this on the bottom. I'm hoping this turns out okay. I've never used the powder in there before, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do a little bit of beans in the bottom too. Just a small bit to mix it in. These tortillas definitely need to be used up. They are getting like solid. Add some beans. And add some of this mixture. Smooth it all together. Then a layer of meat. I feel like I might have put too much meat in the other one. We'll do a layer of cheese. And we do it all again. Foil on this too. I don't know if I usually do. I can't remember. And in it goes. We are on the final stretch. I am just going to make the stir fry. The rice just finished up. Both casseroles are in the oven and the noodles are ready for me to just package them up. So probably should have let that heat up, but I didn't. You know. The cat wants to go outside, and I told him when I'm done we can go outside. He is being very impatient right now. I am going to add some salt, and then I'm looking for my white pepper. I usually have it. There it is. Oh, it's empty. I don't want to refill that right now, so we'll do it here. I usually add garlic and ginger, but I'm going to add the cubed puck style. This definitely doesn't flow nearly as well as when I do one style of meal at a time. All right, we'll add some garlic. Oh gosh, I left those out for too long. Note to self, don't let these thaw. I didn't have the ginger out as long, so that one's fine. I just added a little bit of garlic powder because, I don't know, I felt like it. While the chicken's cooking behind me, I am going to get these rigatoni noodles dished out. And I remembered I wanted to add cheese, so I'm going to have to just add cheese on the top. I think we're about ready back there. I'm going to add in the zucchini and the mushrooms, and then I'll add the sauce on it. We've got a little bit of a brown color here. It's going to take a little while for the zucchini. It's not totally frozen, but it is a little frozen. So it's gonna take a minute. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue doing this. Ow. And so far we got 5 done, and we're pretty close at this point, aside from packaging up and letting the oven finish. So here's my trick. You've seen it before. I like to use a wet erase marker, and then I call it, let's see, sausage pasta. I think I'm good to add the sauce ingredients in here. I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce, which actually this is cocoa aminos. And then rice vinegar is what the recipe called for. I don't have any. I'm going to use mirin instead. And then it called for a little bit of sugar. I probably didn't really need that though, because those two are quite sweet. I gave that a little taste test, and because I wasn't using soy sauce, I was using cocoa aminos, it definitely could use some salt. So that's what I'm doing. Add a little bit of salt, and we will let this finish simmering away. We're almost there. I just need to get these packaged up, and then the last 2 things are in the oven still. I am very excited to have my freezer stocked back up again with single-serve meals. Okay, let's see. Oh, that doesn't go on that one. I just took both of these out of the oven. I need to let them cool quite a while before I can package them up, so that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll get them packaged up and we'll wrap it up here. The casseroles have both cooled down. Now, something really interesting that I was definitely not expecting was that this one, the pan kept seeming hot. Like, I would go near it and it would be hot. And I'm like, why is this pan hot? So I ran to the store, came back, and the pan was still so hot I couldn't touch it. I'm like, what the heck? This doesn't make literally any sense. So then I looked and my stove was on, and I'm like, did I forget to turn it off? Did I accidentally bump it? What happened? So I turned the stove off, and now it's actually cooled down, but I have one spot that's a little overcooked. You know, I don't know if these are gonna fit in there, but this, I gave it a little bit of a taste test, and it's delicious. I don't know if I'd necessarily call this dinner. It's not the most healthy of things. But I'm going to get it packaged up. I just cut it into 8 slices. All right, I've got all the meals out here. We got 4 of the stir fry, 5 of the sausage pasta, 8 of the hash browns, and we would have had 8 of this casserole, but I tried it, you guys, and it is terrible. Here's what I've learned. I don't like this stuff. I've tried this in so many different things, and every single time I try it, I don't like it. It seems disgusting. So I need to just get rid of this. There's no using it to try to like get rid of it. It's like I just gotta give it away, throw it away, something, it's gone. But this recipe I've made so many times. I made it over and over and over again. We really like it. It's an amazing recipe. It's one of our favorites. So I know the recipe is good. Just don't use powdered sour cream and then you'd be good. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. And if you're interested in sticking around, I'll pop 2 videos up on the end screen. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.